Good day, everybody. I just noticed that my overlay kicked out on me, so let me get that up and going, and we will make sure that we have all the information we need entered in and up on the screen. So that's back up. I'll just refresh that. And then we should be good to get going. There we go. It is up on the screen. Hello, welcome back to the stream. We are in southern England at Rochester, just south of the Thames, southeast of London. And we're flying the DC-3 up to Sherburn, up in the north. I've got live weather on. We're going to make it a little bit of a challenge. It's overcast and a bit windy, but the weather shouldn't be too bad given the cloud levels. We've got currently using the London out of London City Airport, 1,800 foot ceilings here, and out of Manchester, 3,700 foot ceilings up there. So it shouldn't be too bad visibility wise once we get down below the clouds. But I thought I'd make it a little bit more challenging. We've got 2 more DC-3 flights, this one and the one next week, and then we start a new series in April. So Kevin's loading in. He's had a little bit of an issue not to restart the sim, so we can start getting ready, since I seem to take a little bit longer doing this than he does. And we can get the aircraft fired up and warmed up and ready to go. It is winter time, a little bit cold out. I think the current temperature down here is, where is it, 12 degrees only. It's not too bad, but I'm sure that wind is making it feel a lot colder. Alright, we'll move up to the cockpit now, and we can get her set up and ready to go. Just scroll back a little bit. So we're going to come up here. We'll close the doors. In the back, there we go. We are going to plug in the battery cart. You can hear everything winding up. Throw the beacon on so they know the aircraft is powering up. And we get the green light on, so everything is looking good. Cowl flaps are open. And everything looks good there. So first thing we're going to do is come down here. We're going to turn the fuel on. We will go to the left main tank for the left engine. And we will go to the right main tank for the right engine. We'll go to auxiliary tanks when we're in the air. If we check our fuel levels, we're sitting at about, let's just scroll in so we can see it, sitting just over 90 gallons in the left mains and about 90 gallons in the auxiliaries. You can do the rights as well, so we're not too bad on fuel. And plenty to get us to where we are going. And Kevin, let me know when you're in, just so I have a good idea of that. So I think we can get the aircraft ready to go. So we're going to push in the electrical cutoff for the mags. We'll turn the mags on both engines so that they are ready to go. Alright, we're going to start number 2 first. So we will turn the generator for that one on. I'll come down here. We're going to put the props fully forward. We're going to put the mixture to auto rich, and we're going to crack the throttle. We'll come back up top, and we are going to turn on the right boost pump, and we'll start the energizer on the flywheel for the right engine. That winding up. There we go, and we're going to mesh the starter and hit the prime and hold it. And we've got engine start on the number 2 engine. So it's going to take a second for everything to start warming up and all the cylinders firing. There she goes. I do like this. This is one of the better round engine starts I've seen. They do simulate the fact that when you start them up, not all engines are firing initially. It takes a little bit of time for it to cycle through, get the oil off, start getting some heat in there, and get everything up and running. So we're going to bring the engine up to 1,000 RPM. Nice and slowly. Get her warmed up. There we go. Sounding nice. So she's 1,000 RPM. Alright, we're going to do the same for the right engine now. So we'll bring the mixture up to auto rich. Prop fully forward. Crack the throttle. And we're going to come up top. Oh, there's the engine starting to warm up and everything firing. So we'll just ease her back now to that 1,000 RPM. We don't want to overrun it until she's nice and warm. Alright, so the generator on the left engine can come on. The boost pump can come on. We'll start to energize left side. So that's spinning the flywheel. That's going to, when we engage it, we'll crank the engine around so we can get the spark going and get the engine up and running. Kind of like pushing a car in neutral and then putting it in gear, popping the clutch to get her going. Alright, sounds good. So mesh and prime. Get a little bit of fuel pumping in there. There we go. Listen for that start. Alright. So throttles are matched. So that engine will slowly work its way up to 1,000 RPM as well. And we're going to let them warm up. So you're waiting on the temperatures to come up. So oil temperature is low. Cylinder head temperatures are low. That's fine. They'll slowly come up. That's looking good. So we're heading today out of Rochester, which, like I said, is south of the Thames on the southeast side of London. We're going to fly over eastern London and then upwards towards Leeds and up to Shoreham, which is kind of up in the Leeds area to the east of Leeds. Not Shoreham, Sherburn Airport. And given the winds and everything, it looks like we're going to be landing on runway probably 19. But we'll see how the winds are when we get up there. So we're currently sitting down here facing to the east, and the runway we want is pretty much over there, running kind of in this direction. You can see actually the lights over there. They've got an extra runway in here in the sim. It's not on the charts, but it's facing the wrong way, so that's not too big of a deal. So there we go. Both engines are synced at around 1,000 RPMs. And they're warming up nicely. We'll just make sure those mixtures are set. Yep. Alright. So she's looking good. So we can finish getting set up. So we're going to switch over to the internal battery, and we will remove the battery cart. Turn the avionics on. The beacon's already on. I'll leave the lights off. Position lights can come on. Pitot heat can come on. And I'm not worried about de-icing since, as I said, it's 12 degrees. Boost pumps can stay on until we're in the air and the engines are running up at speed. And we don't need really need cockpit lights. So we're going to set 22.8 on the radio. just for the sake of it. Kevin, if you want to come into the voice channel, and we can go to a inter-aircraft channel and talk during the flight, and I'll see you in there. I'm up on the radio, so as soon as you log in, you can give me a radio check. Alright, everything seems to be coming along nicely. So let's look at our route and where we are heading. So I'll bring up the chart. Where is my map here? There we go. So we're sitting down here at Rochester. This is the yellow area here. This is Rochester. We're going to be taking off to the south. We'll probably make a left turn, come back over the city, and then we're going to follow this track. We're heading, first we're going up to the Lambourne VOR, and we'll plug in those frequencies in a minute. After the Lambourne VOR, we're going to make a little bit of a right turn, head over Harlow, and we're heading up to the Barkway VOR. So slight left there, we're going to bypass Cambridge, head up over Huntingdon, past Peterborough, over Grantham, and we're heading up here to the Gamston VOR, where we're going to make a slight right turn, past Doncaster Sheffield Airport, and come in, and up here just to the east of Leeds is Shoreham, where we're going, and we'll be flying into an NDB. And as mentioned, the wind's currently out of Manchester from the south, so we might land on 19 and see how that goes. If we bring up the information here for the airport, the longest runway is 2,700 feet. That is not going to be 19. That's probably going to be this one over here, but it all depends on the winds when we get there. So that is the plan for the flight. Now, I'm not sure how much we're going to see, because we are going to have a lot of clouds, at least low down, and I'm not sure at what point they start to clear out and become a little bit easier to see. So if we go over to my page with the frequencies, first VOR, the Lambourne VOR, is 115.6. We'll put that in. Second VOR we're going to want is the BKY 11625, and we'll put that in for our nav2 and make it active just so we get that showing up on the needle. And the next VOR, actually the last VOR, is going to be the GAM VOR, the Gamston VOR 1128. I'll put that in there. Now the SBL NDB, which is located at the field, is on 323. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to dial in 323 on the ADF, and we will turn it to ADF. So we should pick that up. And that should bring us to the field. If not, I do know the heading. We got to fly to get there anyway. Alright, so it looks like our oil temperatures are up on both engines. Cylinder head temperatures are up on both engines. And carb air is fine. It's a little cold, but that's what you get with the Venturi effect. Oh, there's Kevin over there, and it looks like he is running custom scenery because he's floating. Alright, so cowl flaps are open, and we are pretty much...
Rochester, Atlantic 1, elevator check.
There we go. Fox Zulu 6902, loud and clear.
Fantastic.
So I take it you are running custom scenery for here?
That is correct.
And you downloaded the one for Sherburn?
I did indeed.
Yeah, okay. I'll have it for the next flight, but it should be interesting. I'm going to taxi out slowly, and you can get yourself up and running, and we'll see you at the other end of the runway. I'm heading down for runway 20 right, according to my charts.
Perfect. Thanks a million. I'll catch up with you, so.
All right, so we are kind of up and running now. Engines are nicely idling and warmed up. All right, so brakes are released. I'm going to start rolling out, and we're going to use this other runway here, which, like I said, I think it's an old runway, but they've put it in, but it's not in use anymore. Alright, so we're going to edge around Kevin here. He did send me the link to that airfield for Sherburn, but I did not get it in time. And there's a thinner, smaller runway here just before the main one. I'm going to use that to taxi down. And while I'm doing that, I'll grab the weather out of London City, just so we've got the most recent. Oh, there's Kevin starting up. Alright, so the most recent weather, as we can see, is winds are 14 gusting 24 from 200, almost straight down the runway. A little bit of visibility issues, but I'm not seeing anything down here really. Visibility is over 10 kilometers, so that's not bad. There's some scattered clouds at 2,000 feet, scattered at 3,400 feet. 12 degrees, QNH 0998. We'll set our barrel when we get to the end of the runway. And make sure we are good to go. So next week we'll be doing our last leg in the DC-3s. And come the first Wednesday of April, April 5th, my plan is to commence a new series, and we will be flying a different classic aircraft in a different location. It gives us some variety and gets us around and seeing all the different things out here in the world. Alright, so let's watch the trees. So this looks like the end of that other short little runway. But we're going up to this one here. Alright, so she's not a long runway, but we do have a good wind. So we do have some trees at the end there. Just get her edged around a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we'll get the brakes on, get back inside, and get ready to go. So, coming down, batteries good, avionics good, beacon lights on, landing lights are now on. Don't want the engines to come down too far. I'll hold at least 1,000 RPM. There we go. So everything is good. Windshield heater, pitot heat is good. Mags are good. Radios and nav aids are all set. Generators are on. Boost pumps are on. Cowl flaps are open. We will set 1/4 flaps for takeoff, and I think we are pretty much ready to go. And it looks like Kevin is swinging around. So we're going to depart. Rochester area traffic. Foxtrot Zulu 6902, departing runway 20. Left-hand turnout heading northwest. All right. Just before we go, we're going to crank that up.
And the Rochester Atlantic 19 Tango
Need
Air is
that,
taxi into runway 20, backtracking 02, winds apart, traffic is clear.
So, main parking brakes are off. We're on the foot brakes. Slowly start to bring up the engine power. We'll release at about 1500 RPM. And we're going up to 40 inches on the manifolds. 40 inches takeoff power is set. Stick forward, get the tail wheel up. Make it a little bit more aerodynamic. On the rudder to steer. 70 knots. Easing the back pressure. Or the front pressure. There we go. And we are up and climbing. So positive rate. Gear coming up. Gears up. 90 knots. Set that pressure. So 1,000 feet will make our turn to the left. Everything's looking good. Coming over the hill here. Just 500 feet. I'm gonna keep that speed between 90 and 100 as we climb up. So I'm going to bring the propellers back to 2500 RPM for climb. We'll leave 40 inches initially. 700 feet, 800 feet. And we don't want to watch that speed. There's 1,000 feet. We're going to make our initial turn. Ooh, a little bit of a lag there. I'll get rid of that. I've got my own joystick. I don't need theirs. And we're going to come around now to an initial heading of 300 degrees, pretty much. There's the clouds coming up. Watch our airspeed and flaps up. And we're just gonna circle around to about it's 302 is the heading I'm gonna want. Watch that climb rate. See, we're getting into the bottom of the clouds here. This is where the instrument flying bit comes in. Keep that climb going. We're going up to 8,000 feet. All right, we're through north. And we're over Rochester now. We are through that lower level of cloud. And there we go. We're going to be doing something like that until we get online, and then we'll head a little bit more directly to the VOR. We're going to intercept our course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up our heading with our DG, and we're going to turn on the auto gyro. we go. See that cloud formation. Presets are nice, but you get some really interesting clouds if you do live clouds. And with the weather updates, who knows? We may see some really nice weather effects here. So as I said, we're going up to 8,000 feet. Alright. So I'm going to bring the RPMs back up to 2,500. And we're going to hold 35 inches on the manifold pressure for the rest of the climb. We can also come up here and turn the boost pumps off. Alright, I'm going to turn to intercept the VOR a little better. We want a 302 heading. So I'm going to turn this until pretty much 300 is facing north. And we can bring this around. Turn that on. About a 300-degree heading. And we're going to give it a little bit more of a vertical climb. We want to get up to altitude as quickly as possible. We can bring our speed down to 120 while we climb, so we're just going to keep easing her back slightly until we get to there. Alright, we can see we're not quite lined up, so we want to bring it around to almost a 330. So we'll go to 320 and then we'll see where we sit. Pointing right to it now. So again, this is VFR flying, kind of. We could be doing IFR, but we're being a little loose with our stuff. Let's see if I can spot Kevin back there. There he is. Yeah, I'm up above the clouds. I can see you back there. Air Atlantique, yeah, I'm just crossing over the Thames at Tilbury, heading inbound to the Lambourne VOR.
Roger that. I'm not able to see you, but I'll keep an eye out anyways.
We may have some clouds in the way between us.
I'm not seeing a tag either, so I'm not too sure, but sure, we'll work with it anyways.
Okay, tag issues. Yay for multiplayer. Alright, so we're down to 120 airspeed, that's fine. We're climbing at a nice 600 feet per minute. And I'm going to keep bringing the manifold pressure up to maintain 34 inches, because as the air gets less dense, the pressure is going to drop. So I got to keep pushing upwards as we go. And then once we're in cruise, we're going to go 30 inches, 20 or 2,000 RPMs, and that will settle us in around 8,000. And we can see VOR2, the green arrow, is already picking up the next VOR, which is the BKY VOR, which is only another 20 miles away, so it's not too far off. Just make out the Thames there. And of course London is over in that direction. Our 7,000 feet. We'll give another push on the manifold pressure. And we'll do our check. So oil temperature, both engines are looking good. Cylinder head temperatures are looking good. A little warm on the other side. I got cowl flaps still open as we climb. So they should be getting plenty of air to keep them cool. Cylinder head temperatures are fine. Carb temperatures are okay. Oh, Kevin's got me now. Okay, that's great. Alright, so we're coming up. We're 500 feet to go, and then we'll start to level our out. We'll slowly start to trim down to flatten out our climb, and then as the airspeed increases, we'll just adjust trim to go. And once we hit 140, I'll bring the power settings to cruise. We should be good. Okay, so we're slightly to the right now, so I'm going to go to a 310 heading. See, we're if we turn this to get the radial that we're on, so pretty much the 300-degree radial, although we're drifting slightly off that, just fine because everything is a little bit wonky in this old bird. So there's 8,000 feet. So we're going to start bringing our climb rate down to 0. As we do that, our speed will start to increase. And we're just going to try to hold her flat as the speed comes up. I'm just keep slowly clicking her forward. Alright, so there's 140, so I'm going to bring the RPMs back to 2,000. Manifold pressure back to 30 inches. Reset RPMs to 2,000. And we're set into cruise, and we can come over here and trail the cowl flaps, and that will automatically start adjusting now to maintain temperature. Hello, Brian. Hope you're well. What city are you following us from today? Alright, so Lamborn VOR is just over here. We're slightly off track. That's fine. We'll intercept the path, and then we'll head up towards the BKY, the Barkway. VOR, I think it's Barkway. Yeah, Barkway, VOR. Tweak our rate here. Will get us descending down slightly to 8,000. Oh, you're back in Ottawa. I'm back to Montreal on Friday. Well, at least you're not overnighting. Day trips aren't too bad. There, a slight downhill. We'll bring ourselves slowly back down to 8,000. That's all good. Well, at least you're busy. That's a good thing. Alright, so we're going to come up here. We're going to switch over to the Barkway VOR. It's 11625, and then we're going to dial in 1128, which is the next one. There we go. We can send the nav2 over to 1128, which is coming up. That's also the last one, so we're not going to have to switch those around again. Although we're too far away for VOR2, nav2. You can see it's gone flat, which means we do not have a signal as of yet. We got some good speed going, 180 knots. It's our ground speed, about 180 knots, so we're not doing too bad. Alright, so we're going to turn to about a 330 heading now. And that will start us off towards the Barkway VOR. See, it wants it just slightly more over. So we'll go to a 3, 4. Let's go 3, 4, 5. Let's see where that takes us. That'll be about there. Uh, 340 or so. It's not bad. Stansted Airport is over here. Not sure if we can see it. Oh yeah, there it is. There's Stansted. This is where we fly our cargo operations out of. Coming up for 8,000 feet again. And we're looking good. So let's see where Kevin is. Oh, there he is. He's in behind us. Very nice. We'll leave those on since we are in multiplayer. It's all good. So the airport elevation at Sherburn is, let's see if I can get it, is 26 feet. So we want about 1,000-foot circuit height when we get there. And the current weather up, I'm using Manchester as our weather source for that airport. It's not too far away. Yeah, 190 at 7. Oh, they got rain. Oh. Oh. They got rain, overcast clouds, CB buildup. Ugh. It's kind of messy. Could be interesting. Which is why I decided to do this. With live weather on, it gives us a little bit of a challenge. And right now we're just going to monitor. Make sure our manifold pressure stays at 30 inches. RPM at 2,000. We're going to switch over now to our auxiliary tanks since we're nicely settled into cruise. So there's left auxiliary for the left engine, right auxiliary. Nope, not off. You dingle. There we go. Should be. Come on. Let's go left over. I did not kill the engine. Still giving me RPM. on that side. And oil pressure and everything is up. Oh, you're telling me the fuel pressure is dead on that side. Oh, there we go. Looks like I did kill the engine. Oh, that was interesting. We did drop to 7,000 feet while we were doing that. So let's get ourselves climbing back up again. Alright, so those switches are very sensitive. The engine, in real life, with the engine spinning, as soon as you introduce fuel back into them, they would have recaught and fired up again. So they would not just quit like that, especially when it was caught that quickly. At least we know the temperature gauge works. You can see it had cooled down while it was just free spinning in the air. Anyway, climbing back up to 7,000. We've passed the BKY VOR. And we're not picking up the next one, but we're going to switch over. And what we're going to do is fly the heading, which is up to the Gamborn VOR, which is a heading of 318. So we'll dial around to a 318 heading. About there. And we'll be about there. This should give Kevin a little bit of a chance to catch up. Not sure where he's gone. Big cloud buildup over there. More clouds over there. Kevin, are you still up? I'm assuming I've just lost you somewhere in the mass. Alright, slowly climbing back up to 8,000 feet. Oh, massive freeze. Oh, okay. Are you back or no? Alright, so everything is looking good. Next big town we'll be passing is Peterborough. It'll be passing on our, just off our right nose. Oh, I see ya. Way off into the, well, at least he didn't shut an engine off like I apparently did. And, oh, looks like we're picking up the VOR. So if we dial around to get the radial. There we go. We want the, basically the 330. So we'll go to 330. And that should take us right there. Yeah, like I said, in real life, if you were to accidentally turned the fuel off, as soon as you turned it back on, the engine would kick over again. So that's a little unfortunate that it just treats it as an off and you're now off type of thing. That's not what would happen, but I mean, it is a sim. Alright, so we're almost back to 8,000 feet, so let's level off again. So of course, doing all this trimming, we're trimming for speed. So the aircraft wants to maintain whatever speed it's trimmed for. So if you trim it to, say, you want the aircraft to do, say, 100 miles an hour, and you're flying nice and level at 100 miles an hour, if you add power, the aircraft is going to want to continue at 100 miles an hour. So it has to slow down, because, or else it'll speed up. So what the aircraft will do is it'll start to climb to add, to keep the speed down. So that's how you would go into a gentle climb if you had autopilot and you could play with the trims and stuff. If you add a little bit of power, she'll just start to climb. Same as going down. If you're flying along nice and level, and you do this in the small 172s and Piper planes and stuff like that. If you want to start descending, and I know in the 172, because that's what I did a lot of my initial flying in, if you had it nicely balanced, even with the autopilot off, and you were fairly balanced and it was flying level, for every 100 RPM you took off the engine, it would descend at 100 feet per minute, because it wants to keep that speed that it was flying level at. So if you want to drop at 500 feet per minute, you pull back 500 RPM and she'll settle at about a 500 foot per minute descent. And that's kind of the way that works. That's how the trim works. It's not, you're not necessarily keeping the aircraft level, you are keeping the aircraft at a certain speed, and that's how you adjust. That becomes the whole pitch is power is pitch type of thing. So when you're flying into an airport and you're landing and you notice you're coming in a little too steep, you don't pull back on the stick because you want to keep that approach speed. You add a little bit more power to flatten your descent rate, and you'll keep your speed, you just won't go down as quickly, and that's how you extend out. It's a little, takes a bit to get used to. It definitely does. Anyway, that is, I believe, well, I'm trying to see how far we got to go. 25 miles. I think that's Peterborough up here. And we're coming into a big cloud wall as well, so that could be interesting. Alright, so we're through 8,000. I'll give it a nudge back downwards, see if we can keep that nice and flat. So we got 95 or so miles to go. This is the longest leg. It's 86 miles between the Barkway and the Gamston VORs. We're not far from the water. We can see the water coming in here. A little cut into England. That's the North Sea off that way. Oh, I know what I wanted to do while we're cruising along. Let's see. Well, since the weather is going to be coming nice soon, and we'll be heading for the beach and the pools and all that stuff, let's get on a little bit of pools, hot tub, and beach music. There we go. A little bit in the background as we cruise along here. So if we look down here, we can see that the radial we set for the VOR is we're slightly off to the right of it. It's showing it to the left. So if we come over here and adjust our course slightly more westward, we should be able to close in and bring that back online. We'll follow the radial in. Kevin's over that way. Because we seem to be in a little area that's free of clouds, which is nice. But not sure how long that's going to last for. And I think you can see there's a little bit of a drift going on right now. If we line ourselves up with the tail, with the axis of the aircraft, you can see how the air mass is slowly pushing us over to the right. And that's those westerly winds moving the air over. So that's a good example of sometimes when we come into land, we're on a bit of an angle as we're crabbing in. That's to keep ourselves straight. And this is something you got to take into account when you're navigating as well. You can definitely see us moving sideways. That's Peterborough down there. So we come back in, we're still far off to the right, so I think we're getting pushed quite a bit. So we'll come down to say 315. There are calculations you can do to figure all this stuff out if you know your wind speeds and your angle of drift and all that stuff, and you can do the calculations to figure out how many degrees over you've got to shift in order to compensate for it. I haven't done those calculations in a long time. Doing pretty good. We're coming up to those clouds again as we hit Peterborough. So yeah, we'll start down about 30 miles out from our destination, so in about 50 miles or so. Get ourselves set up. After the Gambon VOR, we're going to head at about a 238 heading, and that should take us towards the airport. Hopefully we'll pick up the NDB as well, and be able to follow that in, which should come in down here on our radio compass, as we do have the frequency of the broadcast station dialed in up top. Well, we're holding altitude nicely now. Good, what are we doing? 172 and our ground speed to 175, so we're not bad. I think the wind is mostly coming in on our side and pushing us sideways. We're pointing just a little bit off to the left of the VOR track, but that's because we're drifting to the right. We want to make sure we're dealing with that drift. Just gonna center that, and then we'll see how much she's coming off. I can see it's already coming off a little bit. So we're going to drop down to 310. See if we can hold ourselves in there. With the town of Lincoln coming up on way off on our right. We'll be passing by Mansfield on our left. And we're getting up into Sheffield and Leeds and all that type of stuff. Dark Fury's area, I believe. Just past 90 gallons into fuel. Everything is looking good. So do a little adjustment on the engines, and you'll see the it doesn't sit 100% like the RPM does, and that's because moving through the air you run into different pressure areas and stuff as the air pressure changes, and that affects the engine pressure as well. Alright, so all the winds seem to be coming up almost due south. So I think runway 19 is going to be the runway of choice. It's going to be a full flap landing, and it's going to be a short one. It's going to be a little tight, but given that the winds are currently, let me just get my weather at the moment. Well, there's 7 knots. We can get her down. This aircraft was built for it. Doesn't need a lot of room. Just coming up over a little town of Bourne. That's it down there. The weather's not too bad here. We'll see how it is a little bit further up. It's supposed to get worse. Looking very nice. Yeah, Kevin's still back there. Flying along with Mr. Frosty, Nutty Slack, and Icy Fabian. Yeah, definitely got some interesting weather build up in the back behind us there. Picture. It's 65 miles to go. Hey, J-Hog, how are you? How's everything up at, actually we're flying up into your neck of the woods, I believe. Maybe slightly east of you. Alright, fuel levels are good. About the same as the main tanks. Not a long flight today. Just over an hour. There's, what airport is that? Seeing a lot of airports that way, but none of them have parallel runways. That's all good. Well, we're still tracking onto the VOR nicely. No, the VOR is actually over here, but as I demonstrated, we're just past Peterborough. We're going to be passing Nottingham shortly. We're heading up towards where are we going again? We're going to Sherburn. Out east of Leeds there. Everything is looking good. Kevin is still back there. He's slotting in a little bit behind us. I think he was doing better at following the actual course that we should be on than I am. The weather's decent, although I did say it was raining up in Sherburn, so we'll see when we get there. Let's see, so once we pass the Gamston VOR, we're going to be just 32 miles up to the airport. Again, we want a 328 heading. Everything is nicely dialed in. So pretty much once we hit Gamston, we're going to start to slowly descend back down to roughly 1,000 feet for our overhead. Yeah, my update went fairly well, although I will say when I first loaded in here, there was some texture issues. I had to get an update off of flightsim.to for this enhancement mod that I'm running for the DC-3, but no, it's my install went very smoothly, and Kevin said he noticed he's loading in a lot faster now. So there's usually one spot in the load-in where mine used to sit for a few minutes and then it would kick in, and that seems to be faster through that portion now as well. So it seemed good. Alright, so we're dipping below 8,000, so we're going to come over here and give it a nudge upwards, just to make sure we don't start on a downward trajectory. And we'll do our check. So manifold pressure is 30 inches, RPM 2,000. Oil pressures and fuel pressures are in the green. Oil temperature, cylinder head temperatures, and carb air are all good. That is all working fine. Generators are producing electricity. Hydraulic systems are in the green. And we're getting slightly to the left of the track. So we're going to give it a 2 ticks to the north just to fine tune how we're heading. Yeah, well, I think they've extended the beta testing, and it is helping in that it gives them more time to examine stuff, and they said they're not trying to rush stuff out anymore, so that's nice to see. So where are we flying over here? This is... Oh, come on, you gave me the name a second ago. Newark-on-Trent is the lovely little... let's lean over and look out the window. Lovely little town there. All right. Give it a couple more clicks to the north. No, Newark-on-Trent. Wrong Newark. We know you English stole all these place names from America. Because America's number one. America. Can you imagine turning your head too quickly the wrong way or leaning back? You could really do yourself some damage. Smacking your head off of the valve here for the oxygen system. Yeah, apparently that system was in place before, and I don't know if it was with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but others. Because I heard somebody referring to it as something that had gone on before. And, I mean, I think they'll have to review it to see that... you know, what they're putting in is proper, but it would free up a lot of work on their end, especially for certain buildings or whatever. And just have like little rolling mini updates coming out, updating these things, and then their guys are working on other stuff. I don't know. I didn't read too much about it. I did see a little bit, but I mean, the community does a pretty good job with a lot of the airports for stuff in the airport vicinities when they add things in, so maybe it's a good thing. And Kevin, yes, I agree. Everything in this airplane could hurt you. It's not user-friendly. You just have to be careful. But then a lot of airplanes from this period are like that, so... Anyway, we're about 10 miles out from Gamston VOR. So my plan is to come in and just enter straight in on a left downwind for runway 19 at Sherburn. Yeah, I think everything will have to be reviewed, but if somebody wants to go in at their local airport and redo everything and make it look proper and it's good quality, I mean, why not? We've seen how, I mean, within the umbrella that it's amazing that they're modeling the entire world. and that's pretty awesome. But within that, looking at some of the default stuff, like how long Istanbul still only has one runway out in the middle of nowhere. Incheon, we were just there, half of the airport's missing. Stuff like that. If somebody wants to take that on and get it in so everybody can enjoy it, I mean, why not? Alright, so here comes the Gambon VOR. So we want a 120 or a 328 heading out of here. Go to there. And we are going to turn to a 328. And that should put us heading kind of directly away. And once we stabilize, we'll start our way downwards as well. There we go, we made the turn. So I'm going to start us in a downwards bent, and I'm going to bring the engines back to 20 inches. There we go. Air Atlantic, this is Fox Zulu 9 or 692. We're leaving 8,000, descending down for a left downwind runway 19er up at Sherburn.
Roger that, Air Atlantic, 1 Tango, we're currently over Newark.
New Jersey?
Affirmative.
Alright, so we're down to 170 knots, that's good. We're doing about a 550 feet per minute descent, which is fine. We're just going to monitor as we go. Yeah, it makes me do wonder. One thing I was thinking about was one of the complaints is how long it takes to get stuff through the marketplace. Like, you look at the Spitfire. I got mine through the marketplace. Other guys got theirs through Flying Iron direct. An update will come out, and I'm like 4 to 5 weeks behind before I see my update. So, add into that system all of the guys doing work around their local airports and then firing those files up. How long is it going to take for them to get through stuff? I don't know. Alright, so we're going to be flying past Doncaster, Sheffield, actually. Let's see if we can see. Oh, there it is right down there. Let's go over to Roger's side. There she is. Can't remember, J-Hog. Which was the one they closed out this way? Was it this one or Leeds or... I don't remember. So we got a football stadium coming up. Our destination's up over here. See if there's a weather update. See if it's still raining out this way. Yes it is. When did that update come out? That update came out 24 minutes ago. 180 at 8 knots. Visibility's okay. Light rain. Scattered clouds at 3,000 feet. Broken 4,700. QNH 990. It was Doncaster. Yeah. I was sad when they shut airports down. Alright, so we'll reset our barrel. That is now set. Alright, so we're going to increase our rate of descent. And we're going to bring the engines back. Hopefully I don't get the gear horn. There's the gear horn. We'll bring them back to 18 inches right before the gear horn goes off. Get about an 800 foot per minute descent. I wonder if that's that cloud layer they're talking about. Big building over there. Oh, up on the left above me. Really? Where? Is it all the way up here? It's the intercom. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a little bit more than up on the left above me. I mean, up on the left above me is a fire extinguisher. What? Where? Oh, landing gear warning horn. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll turn that on before we... You got to remember to turn that on. Oh, wouldn't a gear up landing be embarrassing? Hello, Rob. You're from East Ohio, east side of Cleveland. Steak for dinner tonight on the grill. I am doing, after this flight... Yeah, I'm sure you did, John Hogg. Or J-Hog. Just rub it in. I am doing marinated pork tenderloin wrapped in bacon for dinner, with some vegetables. Blind as a bat. Oh, I do have to now wear reading glasses. That is true. All right, we are 14 miles to go. We're coming up to Askern, little town of. See, we still got that little side drift going on.
Sherburn traffic Atlantic one, I think, is currently leaving air cushion 8,000 foot for 3,000 foot.
I would love to learn how. I can make my own chips if I got time. I'd love to make my own batter and deep fry and do my own fish and chips. Love fish and chips. Gonna have to have that when I'm back over in Scotland in May. Alright, so we are heading inbound. Again, we're going to pick up the airfield from visuals, and then we'll be doing a left downwind. So we're down to 4,000 feet. We got 3,000 to go. I think we're going to be high, but that's okay. I'll extend out and bring us around. Airspeed's coming down to 160. That's good. Power plant over there. Airport should be somewhere around here. There's another one. I'm not sure what airport that is. What airport is that? Can I get a name on it? No. Keep an eye out for it. There's 3,000 feet coming up. I have to do the internment for my aunt in Aberdeen, but my friend who's coming with me, her niece is probably doing her master's in Edinburgh, so we're going there, and we're gonna go up north and do the Highlands, bit in castles, and she wants to see what Scotland's like, so I'm gonna take her around and give her a bit of a tour. Oh yeah, definitely got rain out there. Interesting. Maybe the weather's going to be accurate. That's the other airfield over there that I saw. So the one we're heading to should be somewhere out here. Not seeing it yet. Coming down to 2,000 feet. Just reset the barrel. Make sure we're accurate. Alright, so landing lights are still on. We had a lot of cloud. I left them on. Everything is good. Passing lights, all that stuff. Alright, so we are going to come up now, start to slow down. Looking for the airfield. Should be right here. Let's see if we can see it from here. Ah, there she is. Ooh, that is a short. Huh. Yeah. I think we are going to be coming in. That is way too short. And this is the whole airfield right here. I think we're going to do 2-4. Yeah, we're going up to Elgin for a bit and stuff. Alright, so I'm going to do a right-hand pattern, and we're going to come in on runway 24. So let me turn that. 2-4. No, we're going to go the other way. It'll make the minimums for the airfield, but yeah. Alright, so coming off on that, I'm going to bring the RPMs up to 2,000. Put the gear warning horn back on. Propellers fully forward. We'll make our turn. I've left the mixtures in auto rich the entire time. Bad pilot. Alright, so we're going to turn to a right downwind. So that's the Leeds airport. That's not the one we're going to. It'll be fine. Getting the speed down. We'll keep the turn going. Thousand feet is good. Yeah, runway 24 is what we're gonna head for. So we're gonna fly past Leeds, loop around the other side, and come in for the landing. Alright, let's get those. Set ourselves up. Sherburn area traffic, DC-3, Fox Zulu, 6902 is on a right downwind for runway 24 Sherburn. Not seeing any rain, which is a good thing. Granted, when I was planning this out, I was looking at the length of the longest runways, so. And we're not going into Leeds because we are doing the small fields. Alright, let's make our base turn. Bring her 90 degrees. Roughly about there. Wish you could do it gently without too much worry. There's Leeds Airport right there. We're heading over there-ish. Alright. Start bringing that speed back. Just turning past Leeds, or coming past Leeds. No GPS, that's what makes this fun. Alright. Let's begin our turn. $120, there's flaps. First notch of flaps. Keep bringing her around.
Sherburn traffic Atlantic 19 Tango is passing overhead 4,000 foot for right turn downwinds to runway 19er.
That's over this way. Oh, you're going for 19er? Alright. I think I see it over there. Alright, flaps half, gear down. Alright, 90 knots. There's the airfield. $80 knots landing speed. Full flaps. We're going to be getting a push off of the left side. See, we're slightly crabbing. Now, there's a way you can do this. You can take the crab out and then go slightly wheel down and land the into the wind wheel first. If you're doing a wheel landing. Straighten her up. There we are. A little bit of brake. wing down into the wind, a little bit of brake, keeping that nose forward, keep control with the rudders on the brake. Alright, bring the tail down, and we are down. Alright, so we're going to backtrack on the other runway here. So let me get the diagram of the airport up. Where are we headed? The building is over there. Sherburn traffic 6902 is taxiing on runway 10 for the taxiway to the apron. Alright, so we'll leave our landing lights on. We'll get the flaps up. We will hold short of runway 19er for arriving traffic. See that windsock there? Now it was blowing almost a 90-degree crosswind. Here comes Kevin. He'll probably land 15 feet above the ground since he's got the scenery for here. You're not lined up for 19. Sherburn traffic 6902 taxiing on taxiway to the main hangar aprons.
Sherburn traffic Atlantic 119 is on the go.
There he goes. Alright, let's see if I can swing her in here. Ignore the people there. A little bit of brake, spin her around. Oh yeah. Get her in nicely in front of the hangar here. Let's rev that engine. There we go. Alright, so we are now here. Parking brake can go on. Alright, mixture switch. We're going to bring the engines up to 1000 RPM. As I've said before, we do that to help stabilize the temperatures, prevents cracking in the cylinders as they cool. They're not getting shock cooled, and pulls all the oil out of the bottom of the engine, splashes it around to make sure everything is nicely lubricated. Turn off our landing lights now. Position lights can come off, pitot heat can come off. That's all good. Batteries are still charging. I'll let it sit for, usually we let it sit for 30 seconds. Cowl flaps can go to open. And we are good to shut down. And again, I do like the sound modeling they have done in here. There's the right engine. And actually, let's do this one from inside. We'll come over to our... Look at here. We'll open the window up. And we'll shut her down. Yeah, that sounds really, really nice. Alright, that is all good there. Close the window. And we can come back around and shut everything down. So prop levers can come fully back, throttle's fully back. Mixture is fully back. We'll turn the generators off. We'll turn the mags off. We'll pull the battery master for the engines. And the beacon can come off. Avionics can come off. We will get the battery, carry it out, switch it over, and we can open the doors. And here we are. Welcome to Sherburn. Second last DC-3 flight. Next week, hey Charlie. Charlie Augator, thank you for dropping in. Well, you're dropping in at the end. But we are here. Here comes Kevin. It looks like he's going for 1.9 this time. We'll watch him make his approach. See how he does. There is a lot to crosswind landings. I try to verbalize what I'm doing, and it has been a while since I've done it in a real airplane, but it's not an easy thing. There he is. He's got his doors open because I opened mine. It's a weird thing that these things do. Anyway, it looks like he's down. Very nicely done, Kevin. So we'll see you guys on the next one. We will be back on Friday. We're back in Aurora. We're flying from Halifax, Nova Scotia, back to Vancouver, British Columbia in the 737-700s for Aurora. We hope to see you there. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for visiting, everybody. J-Hog and Charlie Utter, Kevin, Rob, all you guys. Thank you very much for popping in. And as I always say, if you want to come along on these flights, my live streams are always open to all the community. Discord links are in the descriptions. You can come in, find out when we're flying, what we're flying, and join up. Join along. It's free, and community is what makes the flight sims great. So hope you can join us one day. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.